The story begins on a bright Saturday afternoon as Marcus and Angela stroll into a high-end furniture store, looking to purchase items for their new home. The couple, well-dressed yet modest in demeanor, instantly attracts the attention of Linda, a longtime patron of the store. Linda, a wealthy and entitled woman in her late 40s, is immediately judgmental of the black couple's presence. To her, they don't fit the image of the clientele she expects in such an upscale establishment. Linda watches Marcus and Angela with thinly veiled disdain, her body language brimming with arrogance. As the couple browses elegant furniture pieces, she mutters loud enough for them to hear. Some people just like to pretend they can afford things. Angela looks at Marcus, who gently shakes his head, signaling her to ignore Linda's remarks. The couple continues shopping, maintaining their composure, while Linda grows bolder in her actions. She steps closer, her critical gaze fixated on the couple, and begins harassing them outright. She accuses Marcus and Angela of being in the wrong store, suggesting they try somewhere more affordable. Her words drip with condescension as she questions whether they have any idea about the value of the items they are handling. Linda's assumptions about the couple's financial status, based solely on their race, reveal her deep-seated prejudice. But what Linda doesn't know is that Marcus and Angela aren't just any couple. They are moving into one of the most prestigious neighborhoods in town, Linda's own neighborhood. This is no ordinary shopping trip. It's part of their journey to build a home together in the very community Linda prides herself on keeping exclusive. The scene in the store sets the stage for an ironic twist that will leave Linda reeling. As Marcus and Angela walk away gracefully, Linda is oblivious to the fact that her actions will soon come back to haunt her. Marcus and Angela embody the quintessential story of hard work, resilience, and triumph over adversity. Marcus, a tech entrepreneur, grew up in a low-income neighborhood where opportunities were scarce and dreams often felt out of reach. Despite the odds, he excelled academically, earning scholarships that allowed him to attend a prestigious university. With his innovative ideas and determination, Marcus built a thriving tech company from the ground up, becoming one of the most respected voices in his industry. Angela, on the other hand, grew up in a similarly modest environment. She knew from a young age that she wanted to make a difference in the world. Her passion for justice and equality drove her to pursue a career in law. Now a highly regarded attorney specializing in civil rights cases, Angela is known for her fierce advocacy and ability to remain composed under pressure. Despite their professional success, Marcus and Angela remain grounded and unassuming. They value humility and believe in treating everyone with kindness and respect, regardless of social or financial status. Their hard-earned success has allowed them to purchase their dream home in an affluent neighborhood, but they never let their achievements cloud their values. The shopping trip to the furniture store is a reflection of their teamwork and shared vision. They see every decision, big or small, as part of their journey together. However, what stands out most about Marcus and Angela is their ability to rise above challenges with grace. When Linda's prejudice comes into play, they don't retaliate with anger or hostility. Instead, they choose to respond with dignity, a testament to their strength of character. Linda is the epitome of privilege and entitlement, a woman who measures a person's worth by their outward appearances and perceived social status. As a longtime resident of an exclusive neighborhood, she prides herself on maintaining what she sees as a certain standard within her community. Linda's wealth is inherited rather than earned, which only fuels her arrogance. She believes her position in society gives her the right to judge and control who belongs in her world. Her frequent visits to high-end stores are not just shopping trips, but opportunities to assert her dominance. She carries herself with an air of superiority, looking down on anyone who doesn't fit her idea of what a successful person should look like. Linda has a history of making snide comments to store employees and customers she deems unworthy of the space, but she's rarely challenged. Her actions are rooted in deep-seated prejudice, though she would never openly admit to being racist. When Linda sees Marcus and Angela at the store, she immediately jumps to conclusions about their financial situation. In her mind, there's no way this black couple could afford to shop there legitimately. Her assumptions lead her to act out her bias, confronting them in an attempt to assert her perceived superiority. For Linda, it's not just about protecting what she sees as the exclusivity of the store, but about reinforcing her place at the top of the social hierarchy. However, Linda's entitlement blinds her to the reality of Marcus and Angela's lives. She doesn't know their story, nor does she care to learn. Her behavior in the store is a reflection of her narrow worldview, one that will soon be shattered when she discovers the truth about her new neighbors. The confrontation begins when Linda decides she's had enough of watching Marcus and Angela browse the furniture. Approaching them with a fake smile masking her disdain, she interrupts their conversation, saying, "Can I help you find something more within your budget?" Her words are laced with condescension, and the couple immediately recognizes her intention. Angela responds politely, "No thank you, we're just browsing." Marcus, sensing Linda's hostility, gently places a hand on Angela's shoulder, silently encouraging her to stay calm. But Linda isn't finished. She escalates her harassment by making comments about the items the couple is looking at. "That set costs more than most people's annual salary," she sneers. "Maybe you should stick to something more reasonable." A few other customers in the store begin to take notice, their expressions ranging from discomfort to disapproval. But Linda remains oblivious, fully committed to her performance. She even goes so far as to call over a store associate, suggesting they monitor Marcus and Angela to ensure they don't damage anything. Despite Linda's increasingly aggressive behavior, Marcus and Angela refuse to engage in an argument. Angela takes a deep breath, choosing to focus on their purpose for being there rather than Linda's negativity. Marcus, with a calm and steady voice, says, "We're done here. Let's go." As they leave the store, Linda smirks, feeling victorious. She assumes she's put them in their place, completely unaware that the couple she just harassed is not only capable of affording the items in the store, but is moving into the same elite neighborhood she calls home. Marcus and Angela walk out of the store hand in hand, their dignity intact despite the humiliation they have just endured. For them, rising above the situation is more important than responding to Linda's ignorance. They've faced prejudice before and have learned that reacting with anger only gives power to those who seek to demean them. As they drive home, Angela looks over at Marcus and asks, "Do you ever get tired of this?" Marcus, without hesitation, responds, "Of course I do, but people like her don't define us. We know who we are." His words reassure Angela, reminding her that their worth isn't determined by anyone else's opinion. The couple shares a quiet moment of reflection, choosing to focus on the excitement of moving into their new home. Marcus jokes about inviting Linda over for a housewarming party, and Angela laughs, saying, "Let's not give her a heart attack just yet." Unbeknownst to Linda, Marcus and Angela's quiet exit isn't the end of the story. It's the calm before the storm. The couple is about to make a lasting impression, not through confrontation, but by showing Linda the power of resilience, grace, and success. Linda takes pride in her affluent neighborhood, seeing it as a bubble of exclusivity where only the wealthiest and most appropriate people belong. She hosts regular gatherings for her friends and neighbors, often boasting about the community's upscale reputation and her role in maintaining its standards. To Linda, the neighborhood reflects her carefully curated world, one free from people she deems undesirable. Her self-assuredness about her standing in the community fuels her condescending behavior. She often speaks about ensuring the neighborhood's quality by monitoring new residents and expressing her disapproval of anyone who doesn't meet her criteria. Linda makes it a point to know who's moving in and ensures that her opinions are heard at homeowners association meetings. In her mind, she views herself as a gatekeeper of sorts, someone who helps preserve the integrity of the neighborhood. It's this false sense of superiority that blinds her to the fact that Marcus and Angela, the very couple she harassed at the furniture store, are on the brink of moving into the house just a few doors down from her own. She's completely oblivious to their success, focusing instead on shallow markers of worth like appearances and material possessions. While Linda enjoys her self-appointed role as a neighborhood watchdog, her bubble of arrogance is about to burst. She has no idea that her new neighbors will challenge her worldview in the most profound way. The day finally arrives when Marcus and Angela move into their new home. A moving truck pulls up to their house, and the couple begins unloading their belongings with the help of a few movers. Neighbors peek out of their windows, curious about the new residents, and several step out to welcome Marcus and Angela to the community. Linda, hearing the commotion, strolls over with her usual air of superiority. She's eager to meet the new neighbors, assuming they'll be as affluent and status-obsessed as she is. As she approaches, her face freezes in shock when she recognizes Marcus and Angela from the furniture store. Angela, ever poised, greets Linda warmly. "Hello, nice to see you again. We're your new neighbors," she says with a smile. Marcus extends a hand saying, "It looks like we'll be seeing more of each other." Linda is visibly flustered, struggling to process the situation. She stammers out a half-hearted welcome, her confidence shattered by the realization that the couple she belittled not only belongs in her world but also outshines her in grace and composure. The other neighbors, unaware of the store incident, shower Marcus and Angela with kindness, further highlighting the stark contrast between Linda's initial behavior and the warmth of the community. Marcus and Angela's polite yet firm demeanor makes it clear that they remember Linda's actions, but have chosen to rise above them. For Linda, the moment is deeply uncomfortable, but it's also a wake-up call. That evening, Linda sits alone in her living room, replaying the events of the day in her mind. She feels a mix of embarrassment and guilt, unable to shake the memory of how she treated Marcus and Angela at the store. For the first time, she begins to question her own assumptions and behavior. Linda reflects on how quick she was to judge Marcus and Angela based on their appearance. She realizes that her prejudice blinded her to their true character and accomplishments. As she considers their kindness and professionalism, Linda begins to see the depth of her ignorance. Her thoughts turn to the values she claims to uphold as a member of the community. She prides herself on fostering a sense of unity and belonging, yet her actions toward Marcus and Angela couldn't have been further from those ideals. Linda acknowledges that her behavior wasn't just unfair, it was deeply harmful. For the first time, Linda begins to understand the impact of her biases. She resolves to take accountability for her actions and make amends, starting with an apology to Marcus and Angela. When Linda musters the courage to approach Marcus and Angela, they are hosting a small gathering to celebrate their move-in. With hesitation, Linda knocks on their door and is greeted warmly by Angela, who invites her inside. Linda stumbles over her words as she apologizes, saying, "I owe you both an apology. My behavior at the store was inexcusable, and I'm truly sorry for how I treated you." Marcus listens patiently before responding. "We all make mistakes, Linda. What matters is how we move forward." Angela adds, "It takes courage to admit when you're wrong. Thank you for coming to talk to us." Their forgiveness isn't just words, it's reflected in their actions. Marcus and Angela treat Linda with the same kindness and respect they show to everyone, setting an example of grace and humility. Their response leaves a lasting impression on Linda, reinforcing the lesson that true strength lies in forgiveness and understanding. The encounter marks a turning point for Linda. She begins to see Marcus and Angela not as a threat to her way of life, but as an opportunity to learn and grow. Determined to change and repair the damage caused by her prejudices, Linda embarks on a journey of self-reflection and personal growth. Her transformation doesn't happen overnight, but she commits herself fully, driven by the shame of her past actions and the genuine desire to become a better person and neighbor. The first step in her journey is acknowledging her biases, something she had been blind to for years. For the first time, Linda faces the uncomfortable truth about how her privileged background and narrow perspective shaped her assumptions and interactions. Linda begins by attending community workshops on diversity, equity, and inclusion. The workshops are eye-opening. She listens to stories from individuals who share their experiences with prejudice, discrimination, and microaggressions. Hearing these firsthand accounts forces Linda to confront the biases she had always justified as harmless or insignificant. She realizes that her actions and words, even when she thought they were innocuous, carried weight and could deeply hurt others. One session in particular focuses on the harm of implicit bias and stereotypes, leaving Linda in tears as she reflects on her treatment of Marcus and Angela. It's a humbling experience, but also a transformative one. Eager to put her newfound awareness into practice, Linda makes a sincere effort to get to know Marcus and Angela better. She starts by apologizing in person, taking full accountability for her behavior at the store. "I was wrong to treat you the way I did," she tells them, her voice trembling with emotion. There's no excuse for my behavior, and I want to do better. I hope you can give me a chance to prove that I've changed. Marcus and Angela, gracious as always, accept her apology, but they make it clear that actions will matter more than words. From that moment on, Linda goes out of her way to build a genuine relationship with the couple. She attends their housewarming party, where she takes the time to talk to their friends and family, learning more about their lives, careers, and interests. Through these conversations, Linda gains a deeper appreciation for the challenges Marcus and Angela have overcome and the incredible accomplishments they've achieved. She learns about Marcus's journey as an entrepreneur, the sacrifices he made to build his business, and the barriers he faced as a Black man in a predominantly white industry. She hears Angela speak passionately about her work as a lawyer advocating for marginalized communities, and it leaves Linda in awe of her strength and dedication. As Linda spends more time with Marcus and Angela, she begins to see how much she has in common with them. Their values of hard work, family, and community resonate deeply with her. These interactions challenge Linda's old assumptions and replace them with genuine respect and admiration. Slowly but surely, trust begins to build and a real friendship forms. Linda realizes that her initial judgments were not only baseless, but had also robbed her of the opportunity to connect with two incredible people. Linda's transformation doesn't go unnoticed by the rest of the neighborhood. She becomes an advocate for inclusivity, using her platform and influence to encourage others to embrace diversity and challenge their own biases. She hosts neighborhood gatherings where people of different backgrounds can come together to share their stories and build connections. She also spearheads initiatives to support local minority-owned businesses, working with Marcus to organize events that promote entrepreneurship and community collaboration. One of Linda's most significant contributions is her effort to bring diversity education to the local schools. Inspired by Angela's work as a lawyer, Linda partners with her to create workshops and after-school programs that teach children about empathy, inclusion, and cultural awareness. These programs have a profound impact on the younger generation, helping to create a more accepting and compassionate community. Linda's journey of redemption inspires others in the neighborhood to reflect on their own behavior and assumptions. Neighbors who once avoided difficult conversations about race and privilege now find themselves engaging in meaningful dialogues. The ripple effect of Linda's change creates a more open and supportive environment where everyone feels valued and respected. Despite the progress she's made, Linda remains humble and aware that personal growth is an ongoing process. She continues to educate herself, attending lectures, reading books on racial equity, and seeking out diverse perspectives. She often turns to Marcus and Angela for guidance, grateful for their patience and willingness to share their experiences. Over time, Linda's transformation becomes a testament to the power of self-awareness, accountability, and the courage to change. By taking responsibility for her actions and committing to growth, she not only earns the respect of Marcus and Angela, but also becomes a positive force in the community. One day during a neighborhood event she organized, Linda takes a moment to reflect on her journey. Standing in front of a diverse group of neighbors, she addresses the crowd. "I'm not proud of who I was," she admits, her voice steady yet emotional. "But I'm proud of who I'm becoming, thanks to the lessons I've learned from this incredible community. Change is never easy, but it's always worth it." Her words resonate deeply, and the applause that follows is a sign of how far the neighborhood has come. Linda's transformation serves as a reminder that it's never too late to unlearn harmful behaviors and embrace a better way of living. For Marcus and Angela, seeing Linda's growth is a source of hope and validation. They know that their decision to respond with grace and forgiveness helps spark a change not just in Linda, but in the entire community. Their strength and resilience have turned a moment of prejudice into a powerful example of unity and progress. By the end of her journey, Linda is no longer the person she once was. She's a neighbor, a friend, and an advocate for a better, more inclusive world. Her transformation reminds everyone that change is possible when we choose humility, accountability, and the willingness to learn from our mistakes. Marcus and Angela's arrival in the neighborhood not only marked the start of a new chapter for their own lives, but also sparked a ripple effect of transformation across the entire community. Their grace, humility, and unwavering kindness in the face of prejudice created a powerful example for others to follow. The couple's quiet strength inspired neighbors to examine their own assumptions and biases, leading to a deeper sense of unity and understanding within the community. For Linda, their presence became a catalyst for profound personal growth. Once blinded by her privilege and steeped in preconceived notions about others, Linda had undergone a remarkable transformation. Through her genuine efforts to learn, grow and connect, she evolved into a symbol of redemption and progress. What began as a moment of embarrassment and guilt blossomed into a friendship that shattered barriers she had previously built around herself. Her newfound friendship with Marcus and Angela not only served as a testament to her growth, but also became a reminder to others that change is always possible, no matter how deeply ingrained one's prejudices may seem. Reflecting on the journey, Marcus and Angela found a deep sense of fulfillment. Their move to this neighborhood was never just about finding a house or a zip code. It was about creating a home where respect and inclusion were the foundations. They had hoped to bring their values to their new surroundings, and in doing so, they turned an initial act of hostility into an opportunity to build bridges. The hostility that had greeted them in the store felt like a distant memory now, replaced by a growing sense of belonging and community. The culmination of this transformation was seen at a community event organized by Linda herself. In an act of redemption, she took the lead in bringing the neighborhood together for a celebration of unity. The event featured food, music, and a chance for neighbors to share their stories and experiences. Marcus and Angela were the guests of honor, and as they mingled with their new neighbors, they saw how much had changed since their arrival. Linda, now a vocal advocate for inclusivity, took a moment to address the crowd. When Marcus and Angela moved in, I'll admit, I had a lot to learn, but they taught me something invaluable. That understanding and connection can only come when we put aside our assumptions and take the time to truly see each other for who we are. Her heartfelt speech moved the audience, many of whom saw parts of their own journey reflected in her story. Later, as the sun set and the celebration continued, Marcus and Angela stood together watching children play and neighbors laugh. Marcus turned to Angela and said, "It's amazing what can happen when people take the time to listen and learn from one another." Angela smiled, nodding in agreement. "This is what true community looks like," she replied. The event wasn't just a party, it was a testament to the power of grace and forgiveness to break down walls of prejudice and build something stronger in their place. Neighbors who had barely spoken to each other before were now sharing meals and stories, forming connections that transcended race, background, and economic status. The transformation of the neighborhood wasn't limited to its residents. It extended to the broader community as well. Linda's efforts inspired other neighborhoods to take steps toward greater inclusivity. Marcus and Angela were often invited to speak at local events, sharing their story as a reminder that change is not only possible but necessary. Their message resonated far beyond the boundaries of their neighborhood, leaving a lasting impact on everyone who heard it. As the evening wound down and Marcus and Angela walked back to their home, they felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. They had faced prejudice and hostility, but had chosen to respond with resilience, kindness, and grace. That choice had changed not just their own lives, but the lives of everyone around them. Their journey was a powerful reminder that forgiveness and understanding could transform even the most divided communities. The story ends with a hopeful message. True community begins when people set aside their differences, confront their biases, and choose to build bridges rather than walls. By choosing grace over anger and forgiveness over resentment, Marcus and Angela not only changed Linda's life, but inspired an entire neighborhood and beyond to embrace the values of respect, unity, and humanity.